nor does he hand them over to the enemy. The Muslim today, he opens up the door and he says to the kuffar, come, let me make it easy for you to kill your brothers. Use our land, use our airport, use our oil. Come kill our brothers. That's how it is today. But don't look at the hukam, look at yourself. Look at yourself. There are people who are our brothers and our sisters, our relatives, and we don't treat them like brothers. So, the akhuwa of al-Islam, ikhwani, it has some fiqh that we want to share with you today. The very first point that we want to make here today, after that brief introduction, is that Allah Ta'ala has established in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً, verily the believers are brothers. Allah could have said, Al-Mu'minuna Ikhwa, the believers are brother. Or He could have said, Inna al-mu'minina ikhwa, verily the believers are brothers. But He said, Innama al-mu'minuna ikhwa. This is for emphasis. This is greater than the believers are brothers. This is verily, no doubt, the believers are brothers. And as I mentioned in the hadith, al-Muslim akhul Muslim, the Muslim is a brother to a Muslim. So that means if you are really a Muslim and you're an Arab, Somalian, Pakistani, white, black, if you're really a Muslim, if you have a problem with taking a white brother as your Muslim brother, something is wrong with your iman. You made takdeeb of the Quran. Allah has mentioned that He made all of us brothers, all of us sisters. Someone says, well, he's not from my clan, so I don't really look at him as a real brother. He's not from my clan. I'm going to treat him like a second-class citizen because he's a reaver. He's like not really a real Muslim, but that's what we get. So the first thing is, it is not permissible for anyone here to have any doubt that everyone who is sitting here, who has made the shahada of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we are all brothers one to another. All of us. And he said about the brotherhood of the Muslims, the people in this masjid, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-Muslimun tatakafa'u dima'uhum. The Muslims, their blood is equal. Their blood is equal. There's no one here, his blood is more expensive or more important than the next man. If you can imagine, all of us are on a boat, on a ship, and there's a hole in the ship, this ship, and it's sinking, and we have to make the ship light. What we have to do is we have to look for all of the cargo in the ship, and we have to throw it overboard. Take some of our clothes off, throw it overboard. Take what we eat and drink with, throw it overboard. The ship is still sinking. That means there's too many people on the ship. So someone comes up with a bright idea. Let's throw some of the Muslims overboard. Some of us gotta go. Some people say, well, the elders from amongst us, they're closer to death. Let's throw them overboard. Someone else said, no, the little children, they're not mukallafun. If they die, they go right to Jannah. Let's throw them overboard. Someone else says, well, the sheikh, his blood is the most important. He stays. Another one says, well, the women. Ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. Let's throw them overboard. Our religion says nobody can get thrown overboard. Not a single person here. Al-Muslimun tatakafa'u dima'uhum. The Muslims, their blood is equal. No one's blood is more expensive than the next guy. Now, there are different positions. The alim, his position is different from the one who is not an alim. No doubt. But our blood is equal. Why? Because we're brothers. So the akhuwa in al-Islam requires that every sister in this masjid, every brother in this masjid, look around and not find a problem with another human being who's in here, who's claiming Islam, not finding a problem with that individual. So the brotherhood of al-Islam, ikhwani, it has some arkan, some pillars in which it is built upon. And the brotherhood of al-Islam, it has some darajat. It has some levels. There's a low level and a high level we have to come to know about. The brotherhood of al-Islam has huquq, rights. We have rights over each other. We have to come to know about that. So we'll try our best to get through as much as we possibly can. Now, this is a lecture, this is a dars. But more than that, ikhwani, this is nasiha from me to you, a reminder from me to you, so that we can start to understand and comprehend and practice this akhuwa of al-Islam. As it relates to the arkan of the Brotherhood of al-Islam, everyone knows that the rukn is the janabu shayl aqwa. As the ulama of al-Islam say, the pillar is that thing of the structure that is the most strongest part. The arkan of al-Islam are 5. The arkan of al-Iman are 6. If any rukn from the arkan of Islam or Iman are lost, then the person's Islam is jammed up. His Iman is jammed up. Similarly with the arkan of the Brotherhood of al-Islam. If one of these rukn is lost, then the Brotherhood is jammed up. The arkan of the Brotherhood are 3. And they come from the Quran and the Sunnah. From the Quran, it is the statement of Allah Ta'ala in Surah At-Tawbah, and what the scholars call ayatul sayf, the ayat of the sword. This is a trivia question that I'm going to ask you at the end of the lecture. The scholars said that ayatul sayf, the ayat of the sword, abrogated more ayats than any other ayat in the Quran. In the beginning of Islam, the Muslims had to turn the other cheek. They had to be patient. They didn't have the power or the ability to deal with the kuffar. So they had to turn the other cheek. They had to be patient. They had to look the other way. They had to make hijrah. They could not make a muqamam, and they couldn't go against the kuffar. But then when ayatul sayf was revealed, Surah At-Tawbah, Surah Al-Bara, at the end of the hijrah, at the end of Islam, ayatul sayf abrogated all of those ayahs about turn the other cheek. So when I ask you, inshallah, what ayat abrogated more ayat than any other ayat, you're going to say ayatul sayf. Make sure you're paying attention. Allah Ta'ala said in ayatul sayf, فَإِذَا انْسَلَخَ الْأَشْهُرُ الْحُرُمُ فَاقْتُلُوا الْمُشْرِكِينَ حَيْثُ وَجَدتَّمُوهُمْ وَخُذُوهُمْ وَاحْصُرُوهُمْ وَاقْعُدُوا لَهُمْ كُلَّ مَرْصَدٍ فَإِنْ تَابُوا وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ فَخَلُّوا سَبِيلَهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. If the months that are sacred, if they pass by Ya Muhammad, then kill the mushrikeen wherever you find them. Kill them. Take them and lie in wait for them and deal with them seriously. But if they make tawbah and they establish salah and give the zakat, then let them go. Verily Allah is Ghafoor, Allah is Rahim. That's ayat number 5 from Surah At-Tawbah. Allah said, kill those mushrikeen wherever you find them, but if they make tawbah or they establish salah and they give zakat, then let them go. Why? Is explained in the other ayat from Surah At-Tawbah. That's ayat number 5, ayatul sayf. And then ayat number 11, Allah Ta'ala said, فَإِن تَابُوا وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ فَإِخْوَانُكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ. If they make tawbah and establish salah and give zakat, they are your brothers in the religion. So Allah established the Brotherhood of al-Islam with these 3 things. Before we move on to the levels of this brotherhood, I have to explain what does this mean if they establish salat and give zakat and they make tawbah. Ikhwani, making tawbah means 2 things, has 2 possible meanings. Pay attention so that we can understand the akhuwa of al-Islam. Tawbah means, if they make tawbah, meaning if the man is a mushrik and a kafir and he becomes a Muslim, then he becomes your brother. Even if he happens to be the president of Israel right now, who are killing our brothers, oppressing the Muslims. If he became a Muslim, we take him as our Muslim brother, because he made tawbah from shirk and kufr into Islam. The companion Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu, before embracing Islam, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to embrace Islam, but I want to make it conditional. I'll embrace Islam under the condition that Allah forgives me for what I did. I fought against you, killed some of your companions, did